Hello, everybody, and welcome to our weekly LinkedIn Live. Guys, you have one of my best friends on with us, somebody that knows me for about 25 years, somebody that knows my secrets, so please don't share too much, Christian. And let me introduce you. So, Christian, you're one of my best friends. You're actually my first roommate in California. You're an SEO expert. You are my SEO kind of expert. You work with us on almost all of our SEO. You also own an amazing company of your own in Canada that does amazing things. You travel the world learning about SEO. Every time I talk to you, you're in some other corner of the world learning things about SEO that nobody else have learned yet. Love the innovation you bring in. Love your personality. Love our friendship. Christian Carreri, why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
That's a great intro right there. I mean, that's fantastic. I feel so like I think my cheeks are blushing a little bit. Yeah, no, we met, and I was a like diehard tennis player. I remember that was the thing, and this is the reason why we met through known people, some mutual acquaintances, and I was playing pro tennis and going broke every time, and I was trying to figure a way to make money while I was on the road. So it was, I started making websites. I started doing in 2008, I believe it was, as an affiliate. I had probably 50 pharmaceutical sites before Google slammed them all. It was the exact match domain, free for all at the time. And I was following people like Kelly Felix, and I think his name was Mike Long. And yeah, it was a free for all, man. It was great stuff. And, there's a tragic ending to that era for a lot of people, but it forced us to move on to other stuff. And I started my company in 2015 after getting some great results with a local business, and it just snowballed from there. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Is just doing a lot of local work, and yeah, enjoying the process.
Love it. So SEO is something that most people are so clueless about. Incredible. Like when I talk to business owners, most of them, their knowledge of SEO is zero. Okay. And there's a lot of misconceptions about SEO. I truly think, in our company, and you know this and you believe the same way, SEO is the gift that keeps on giving. If you do SEO well, you will never be short of attention, okay? If you do SEO well. Now, converting that attention, that's another part, but if you do SEO well, you will never be hungry for attention online. What do people don't understand about SEO, Kurt?
Well, I think, some people see it as different things. Like when you ask, "Hey, can we find you on Google or something like that?" Or like if someone asks a business owner, they'll be like, "Of course," and they'll type in their business name, and then they pop up. Where SEO is really about building a presence so that you are found by people who don't know your name. So I think this is one of the key aspects to building your business is that you always want. And it's not that it's the leaky bucket per se on each thing where you're always, but you want new clients coming in all the time. So you need to be found for non-branded keyword terms, which are, what people are typing in things that they are looking for, and you offer these things. You want your company to be found. So I think that's one misconception: is being found on Google is not just.
Love that. So let's dive into that. If somebody knows your name, they're already going to call you. Okay? Like if I'm looking for you, if somebody's looking for Wexler Marketing or Viacry, they already want to work with me. Okay? So that's great that they can find me by looking at my name, and if they can't, that's really, really sad. But they already want me, they already know me. The beautiful thing about SEO is to be found by people that don't know you but want what you do. Okay. So this is something you are an expert on. This is something that you can bring pages into people's frame. And then what people need to understand is there's one good hiding place on Google. It's the second page, right? If you want to hide dead bodies, go to the second page of Google. Nobody looks. Okay. So there is such a competition of what you can get on the first page of Google. So of course, for your name, you can get on the first page of Google. Yeah, thank you. Especially if your name is something, kind of unique. But people don't look for your game if they don't know you. They look for what you do. So how do you help people be found by what they do, Kareri?
Well, we want to highlight like the their major offerings is basically it. So, if you're a plumbing company, so plumbers love to have like specialty services. So, one plumber really loves water heaters, high ticket, in and out same day. It's a great aspect of their plumbing business that they really want to highlight. So we make sure that on the website we got a lot of content about water heaters. We want to talk about all the latest stuff. We want to talk about saving money. We want to talk about every aspect of water heater repair, replacement, installation, and different situations, so that every person who's ever looking for any specific situation that involves a water heater, your website is popping up. You're like, man, these guys just know water heaters. They're everywhere.
There's a question here from Numan. Christian, can you share with us how AI is changing SEO? I know I can talk about this forever, but how do you feel AI is changing what you do right now?
I mean, we're able to offer a lot more, I think. We're moving a lot faster. And so, the automations is also playing a big part in incorporating AI in a lot of the systems that we need to operate. So, obviously the big one is content, and everyone's talking about AI content. And, the truth be told is out of the box AI content isn't really usable. So, what we're doing is we're creating different prompts. We're using quality checks and trying to remove all of the AI markers that pop up in content production. And then we're also trying to use AI to identify, to analyze, to give us what's the best way to show information gain on an article. How do we have information gaps covered? And so we're analyzing much more in far less time and coming up with ideas and solutions that are in much less time as well.
So, Numan, let me answer this for you. If you know what you're doing, so Christian is an expert AI operator. He's done wonders for AI, especially local AI, especially service companies. And he has processes, okay, that when you get a company, this is what you need to do: A, B, C, D, E, of course, with the connection of what that company is. Now, those things usually take a lot of time, okay, a lot of work. If you know all these things, now with AI, you can basically cut 80% of the time. Okay, so you still need to make sure you're doing it the right way and using that incredible wisdom that Christian has, that he developed over the last 20 years, but you can make it 5 times faster with AI, with putting the process and the knowledge base. I hope this makes sense, Numan. If it doesn't, please ask a follow-up question. But if you know what you're doing, AI can cut 80% of your time. If there are processes written, AI can cut that. If you know how to make something rank, then you can put it into the AI prompts that you make. But if you don't know how to do it, AI is not going to help you. So if you've never been able to rank an article, doing it with AI is going to be a faster way of doing nothing, if that makes sense. But if you know what you're doing, if you're able to rank something prior to AI, now AI can really cut costs. And in addition, AI can analyze all of your ads. Okay, you can put data in there, and AI would really tell you what's working and what's not. Instead of spending 50 hours on it researching, you can just put it in the database, and the database will let you know. We have a couple more questions here. Featured snippet, is it new elements of SEO? I love featured snippets, Brad, and I have stories about featured snippets. Christian, what are featured snippets?
It's basically the little section at the top of the search results that appears in response to a specific query. So it answers the question that the user has, and Google did this. This has been, I think, 2016, man. This has been around for a long time. But it pops up to make things easier so people can see the result right away. They don't have to click into a site. That's basically it in a nutshell.
So, Brett, what a snippet is, a featured snippet is basically when Google designates that this is the best freaking answer for this search. It is powerful as heck. I've had clients, I've had a podiatry client, okay, that we've created a big article that explains when should you go to a podiatrist with a ingrown toenail or something. That became the featured snippet of what to do when to go to a doctor with an ingrown toe. They became the #1 podiatry site in America. Okay, they were featured on every first page of Google. We actually had to like beat out people that wanted to come from other states. So we were trying to make sure it's just geographically to the area that we're in. But featured snippets can make you fortunes. Okay, it's basically Google saying this is what you need. Okay, and most people just listen to Google. Most people just go on that featured thing. They won't look for anything else. So, Brett, I hope this answers. Let me talk about another thing. Featured snippets are amazing. Another thing that's been around since about 2016, and I don't think people are taking advantage of, Christian, is voice search. Can you share a little bit with us, like how you deal with voice search? Because I think that's super powerful.
Well, yeah, it goes hand in hand with actually what we're doing with AI content too. Is it's basically optimizing text to sound natural, the way people would speak. Voice search picks up your, obviously, like when you are, a lot of people use it as in the car. Hey Google, where is this? Hey Google, what's asking questions? So voice search is basically, it's replacing the search terms that you would type in, but it's natural way of speaking is how it's getting picked up by Google.
Love it. So guys, I love to talk, as everybody knows, right? When I type, I am the stingiest guy in the world, okay? I am trying to put this in the minimum amount of characters. When I speak, I'm the opposite. When I actually talk, I'm way more elaborate, maybe too elaborate, but hey, so you need to basically tweak these voice searches to the way people actually ask for results. So people, when they write, again, they're stingy, especially men. And then people, when they speak, they present in a completely different way. And I don't know if you guys know this, but 50% of search is voice search. Did you know this, Chris?
I think it depends on what we're talking about too, right? Directions or hey Google, hey Alexa, that type of stuff is maybe looking for, depends on the searches, depends on the niche, but it wouldn't surprise me.
I know that 95% of everything I do is voice. Okay, I know I'm very auditory, but I've seen research that says that 52% of the entirety of search online is voice generated. Now, you're absolutely right. It has to do with the Alexas and everything else in the world. But people need to understand that this is where the trend is going and it's not stopping. The same way that the trend is on mobile, that's the same way the trend is going to be voice. Does that make sense? We have another question. I can only imagine that ranking for featured snippets is fierce. Your thoughts? Absolutely. So, Brett, every featured snippet is not taken. Most of them are not taken. Now, if something is taken, go step away, find another target, because replacing a featured snippet is hard. But creating a featured snippet is very doable. We've done it many, many times. I gave you the example of the podiatry, but we've done over 30 featured snippets for clients, and it works amazingly. You just need to focus on what you can do. Okay, like if Amazon is a featured snippet on something, you're not gonna beat them, right, Karari?
That's true. And and if you're producing original content, original data, you'd be surprised too. Google will put you in a featured snippet for searches that you didn't even know were happening. So I mean, yeah, it's a great way to do that is to do like a really intense page of frequently asked questions, just because the formatting of that is geared directly towards how Google wants to read and answer questions. So, yep.
This brings me to another thing that I think is really basic, but I would love to get your thoughts on. Guys, please stop sending all your traffic to your home pages, okay? Like, that is not smart. So you got to understand the way Google works. Google does not look at your website as a person. Google scans your website from the back end and looks for the tags, the headers, all that stuff. Your homepage is your homepage, but you cannot direct all the traffic there. If somebody's looking for a particular thing, you got to drive them to that page. And I also want you to talk a little bit about location pages. Like, people don't understand the amount of technical genius that true SEO has. So can you talk about these two things? Because I truly don't think people understand it, and I want people to stop sending traffic to their homepage when it needs to go somewhere else.
Yeah, and it's I love getting clients like that because it's like such a big win for us, and it happens quick when they've only optimized the homepage. It should be like a highway. Your homepage is the highway, and you should have exit signs going to different parts that people want to get to. So when you have like services or products that you offer, you want a page for each one of those things so that they can rank higher. Google wants to show the best results for every question or query. So a homepage might have a broad scope of things, whereas if you can show an exact, service that someone is looking for, the intent is matched to the query. So we want pages for all of those things, and that is a big common mistake with small business owners who do their own websites or have just a web designer do it rather than an SEO. The other aspect of this is that you can expand your reach into different cities that you are, so your location is it's not limited to your business is not limited to your location now. You can expand to different cities by putting a page for each city. So plumbing example, waste industry example. If you want to rank in all the cities around your location, have a page for each city. Plumber in Sonoma, plumber in Kirkland, plumber in Seattle. So each of those has its own search. Each of those will have its own traffic, and it's tailored to those people, those residents. So just really, doing that with your website, where you're really targeting the searches and matching the intent, creates much higher rankings with targeted traffic to your site.
Love it. So I'm putting one on my website here, our Wexer marketing website, free publicity for us, right? But guys, we do a lot of things, okay? We have a lot of stuff going on. So I will not, if somebody's looking for our amazing AI tools, I will not send them to my homepage. I will send them to the actual page where I have our AI tool. So if it's a tool for creating content, I need to send them to the right page. Okay, so you guys need to understand that you do a lot of things, and people don't have the time to go through and figure out what you're doing. So if somebody's looking for something pinpointed, you got to go there. If somebody's looking for my SEO services, I will send them to our search optimization page. I will not send them to my homepage because we do so many things. Does that make sense, Kareri?
Of course, absolutely.
So now let's add to another thing. Location pages. Okay, people don't understand. People think that a page is a page. Guys, when we work with companies, we build the same page 30 times in different geographic location. Can you dive a little bit deeper into that, Kareri?
Well, so again, like we have a client that they have specific brick and mortar locations. So they can't, Google My Business really shows up well for proximity. When you can't reach clients with just your Google My Business, or, you put a location page in the cities you want to rank for. So one common misconception is that duplicate content will get you penalized. In easier niches, or less competitive niches, you can actually duplicate a location page verbatim, change the title, all the important geo-targeting terms. So if you have a location page for Dallas, you can make the same location page for Fort Worth, but you change everything Dallas to Fort Worth. Now, in that particular case, those are both very competitive regions. So it may not work as well, and you might have to add, a little bit more custom content to that region or city. But again, like when we're talking about going into the smaller, like Waxahachie, or like these like Redwood and all these little tinier towns, you can take that same page and duplicate it and then get it to rank, by changing the meta tags and all the geo-targeted data. It's actually a common strategy.
Guys, we've had so much success with this, it's not even funny. Okay, you need to understand that Google takes geographic and location the most serious, especially when you're on your mobile. When you look at your mobile, Google knows exactly your location, and it will bring things close to you. So Google is so location based, and people need to look at it. We have so many questions, Kareri. Let's see what else we can answer. Thoughts about keyword stuffing. I'll give that straight to you, bro.
Yeah, keyword stuffing, don't do it. That's like a 2010 thing. Again, like that stuff will get you penalized. Your page won't even show up anywhere near the first page with keyword stuffing. Which anyone who doesn't know that, it means saying, well, I really want to rank for waste management company, so I'm going to put waste management company, and just keep repeating the same keyword throughout your page. Yeah, it's a no-no. We don't need to do that anymore. Google understands certain language and the text enough to know that enough that we don't have to force it down their throat.
We got a big question here. Tony says, hey there, I'm a Shopify, WordPress, and Amazon data entry and product listing expert. Nice. I specialize in accurately up. Okay, thank you. Appreciate you. Never forget about voice search. Thanks. Let's see what else is here. That's interesting. Many people use voice search instead of traditional one. Voice search will take over. Mark my words. I've been talking about voice search for almost 10 years. It is revolutionizing search, and if you're not using it, you're losing. Is blogging? Oh my God, blogging. Numan, you're freaking brilliant. Carreri, can you talk about blogging and how that affects things?
Blogging for with a purpose is something that we do for every single client. It's a way to really bring traffic, and it's a way to provide supporting content to the main pages that are going to really bring you money. So we have bottom of the funnel content, which is like a service page that explains exactly what you're going to get. Then you have like blog content, which would explain details about that service that people don't necessarily need to know, but they might be searching for that in order to come to a decision to buy your service. So yeah, blogging, for local is great. Blogging for products, absolutely great. It's how you use it. It needs to be purposeful with keyword targeted blogs.
Absolutely. So we have a LinkedIn user here saying, yes, 100. I don't like it when it directs me to a homepage instead of exact product. Nobody likes it. Okay. And Google actually penalizes for it. So Google measures everything. So if you're sending somebody to your homepage, he can't find himself and then he leaves, that's a bounce. Okay. And Google measures that things. I want everybody to understand this. Google does not care about you. Okay. You as the company, you as the business owner, you as the service provider, Google doesn't care. Google cares about the searcher and the searcher experience. Okay. So you need to make sure that the searcher has the best experience if you want to have good SEO. What do you think about that, Chris?
Absolutely. I mean, UX and SEO is now directly linked. I know if you come to a site that's got just a massive wall of text, your brain's going to be like, no, right away. It's and bounce off the page. You're going to go back and find something else that's a little bit more stimulating or looks good or feels right. Even we've proven even colors, the experience that someone has in a site is directly related to the length of time they spent on the site. It's a lot of user engagement stats that contribute to good conversions, number one, but also good ranking. When Google sees people really engaging with a website, sticking on there, clicking through, scrolling, that type of stuff is tracked, and it has a direct impact on the ranking that you get.
Absolutely. Hello, David Solomon. David Solomon, our great friend, amazing CRO. Anybody that wants to grow revenue, talk to David. David, glad to hear it doesn't work. Now, your second question, I want to really focus on. Does blogging include video? Guys, anybody that knows me knows I freaking do so many videos. I probably had a video a day for the past 5 years. But people put videos on and they don't create the SEO for the video, which is, kind of a waste. There's a way to SEO videos. Chris, can you share a little bit how you do correct SEO on a video?
Well, keyword in the title. Obviously, you have to have a good description. You can now segment your video, so you can basically say at which point that you can find certain information in the video. It's called chapters. You can also add tags to related content or anything that you think people would also like to know about. And what's really good is if you link to other videos in your it helps build up the views on your channel, or for internal video linking. But that's like the high level. That's some of the most important stuff. Obviously, how long your video gets watched. So if you got like a 10-minute video on a question that's probably takes 2 minutes to answer, you need to rethink your content in the video, because Google's also looking at that when they rank it. So if people are jumping off your video after 10 seconds, you're not gonna rank. So it has to also be really directly to the that's another big ranking factor, is that it needs to address the situation, right?
Yeah, people need to stick on your video. That's a big thing. But David, what I would recommend to you, and today with AI is so freaking easy, is make sure that there's a transcription for every video you make. Okay, so make sure you post the video. You also post the transcription, so it's double. You get the video SEO with the right way, and then you also get the article SEO. Something I wanted to talk to you about is, let's talk citations a little bit. Okay, this is something we do for all our clients. This is something that you've really pushed on our team and our clients, and something that we do a lot more now that you're leading our SEO. But talk about citations and how it's like a shortcut for getting
well, citations, like what Google is doing now too, is recognizing brand, and brand is a huge factor and also like how often you appear in searches, and it does affect where they put you. So citations helps that. It helps put your brand in different places. It helps put your website in a lot, like like what's the natural thing that people will do when they open a new business? They need to get noticed, so a lot of business owners will go to Yellow Pages, Yelp, they go to the major directories where there's actual traffic, so they can be found. Getting your website in these major directories not only helps your brand and helps you be your name, address, and phone number being repeated throughout the web, is the fact that you also get a link. You get a link from these major sites. So this improves your authority score and bumps up your ability to rank. So that's been a huge, it was a huge factor way back then. It kind of fizzled off, and it looks like it's coming back even stronger than it has in the past few years, though.
Awesome. Can you believe we've been on for half an hour, bro? It feels like 5 minutes. This is actually kind of funny. Hey, Shuvo. Shuvo is actually a guy I introduced you to see if we want to talk to. So that's just hi, nice of you to join us. Numan, you have another great question. Do you think AI has decreased search queries on Google? Kareri, you want to take that?
I think it's taking a chunk. I think it's starting to, yeah. And then they're starting to implement stuff. I mean, chat searches can search Google. So I mean, it's like some people go directly to chat now. So I think there's got to be. I mean, it's not a huge chunk, but because I think that Google is obviously the major beast in this whole show, but chat is definitely pulling some, and it might get worse. So
it's gonna be, if you don't understand AI, the competition is gonna become too hard for you. But a lot of AI is nonsense too. So a lot of it is just not good content, but it definitely has an impact. Hamad, what are the best ways to link your services with targeted keywords, and which key metrics should you evaluate before initiating content creation for those keywords? Brilliant question. Christian, you want to take it?
So, yeah, I mean, we do like a little mix. We might depend. It depends on. It's also the age-old answer is it depends. Depends on the competition. Depends on like how much power do you need in that service page. I've noticed that Google really scrutinizes high commercial value keywords. So I keep going back to the Seattle thing, but Seattle plumber, they look at that so much. So when you link to a service page on Seattle plumber, it's definitely going to be scrutinized. So it has to be high quality. You can relate good links with location. If you're talking about local business, you can link from something that shows location, relevance, authority, and the niche, specific area. So if it's plumbing, another plumbing site linking to your site is a great link for a service page. Ideally, what we like to do is kind of create buffers too, is with blog posts, where we can pile on a lot more links onto a blog post and not really worry as much about what happens to that post in terms of really getting a lot of link juice flowing through a blog post that links to your service page. It's another way to power up the service page by with the internal linking system that you have. So if a bunch of blogs have links from a bunch of different plumbing sites and a bunch, and they're all pointing to your Seattle page is going to go up.
Love it. David Solomon says, I'm blushing. Thank you for the shout out. If we can make you blush, send a picture, share it in the comments. I'm just joking, my friend. You are an awesome partner, and anytime we can shout you out, it's a pleasure. How much time does it take to truly see results from SEO? It takes time, okay? I usually say a minimum of 4 months, and you can see better results in 6. If you do SEO for a year, that's where things really click. And that's the thing. You gotta have it's kind of like with AI. We're talking to companies that they need to invest now so they can get the fruits in 6 months. SEO is the gift that keeps on giving, but you gotta invest in it. You gotta care for it. And in the beginning, it's just effort. But if you do it for a year, I will guarantee to anybody watching this, if you do SEO correctly for a year, you will see the results. Carrera, you want to interject?
Yeah, and I'm going to say it, but it depends, right? But because, there's some sites that are just so badly optimized, but if they've been around for a while, we had a site that's been open since 95. They got 46 people on it a month, and it was for brand. So then we started creating the pages. They didn't have pages for, they had nothing. Oh, within a month, they were getting qualified traffic leads that were coming in immediately. And why? Because they had the right things set up. It was like fundamental SEO, and they saw the results immediately. A brand new site, yes, it's going to take time. Depending on budget, budget can get you places faster. So, you can put down a lot of links and a lot of content a lot faster than a normal SEO program. That'll get you, it depends on how fast you want to move. We've gotten incredible results in 3 months. But again, it does take time. And the results that you get in 3 months are usually exponential by the year marker. And we can go through almost every single client, and right in that 9 to 12 month area, you'll just see this curve go boop. And where it's like, Google's like, yep, we like this guy. And then everything starts to rank.
You got to understand, Google wants to make sure you're not some fly-by-night operation. Google wants to make sure they're not sending anything to a scam, to something that's going to disappear. So seniority has a big thing on it. And actually, break down authority score. Guys, I don't know if you guys know your authority score. All of us needs to know our authority score, our domain authority. Can you share a little bit about how important that is, Chris?
It's a way to measure what's happening with the site in terms of links. We don't know what Google does exactly and how they score everything. Everything is pretty much speculation, but we know that the main reason Google, why this whole thing got started, it was the initial premise that separated them from every other search engine when they first came out, was that we're going to show you the most popular sites based on how many sites backlink to these sites. So the authority score shows how much power or authority a page or domain has. So you have one that goes to a page, and then you have one that's for the domain in general. But what these tools that we're using, which is like DA, you'll hear domain authority and Moz, DR, which is domain rating from Ahrefs. Majestic uses, what is it? I don't even use Majestic. I don't even know. Trust Flow and something else. The idea is, though, it's not an end-all be-all solution to determining the real quality of a site. It's an indication about how many links are going through it. Because you can have people that go, oh, my site's got a 70 DA, but it's from, thousands of links from the same site. So it's not going to rank for much because Google sees that stuff. So it can be a deceiving metric, but it's important because you can look at it and see the quality of the backlinks that are coming in.
And it's the backlinks. It's also the seniority, how long you've been there. And there's also a traffic component to it. But of course, the backlinking is the most serious one. A question here from a LinkedIn user: does SEO work best on websites, or does it also work on social?
Yes, social media platforms are also, they run on the same type of, they run on algorithms. They're search engines. So there is a way to rank highly on social media. It's and each one is slightly different, but they follow the same principles.
And on a very different note, every social media you're on, they use their SEO. So their SEO is usually stronger than yours. Their authority is stronger. So the people look for you, they'll usually find those things first, if that makes sense. Um, David, post the transcription with the description. So it's basically, it's an article in addition to what you just spoke, and then that article has additional SEO. You can post it together, you can post it separately, but it just allows you to have another piece of content from the video you just made. You wanna share anything about that, Chris?
No, it's good. That's great. It gives Google like some more traction, more to feed off of when you have that.
I think we covered this. What are the few main factors that affect your authority on Google? Um, you're welcome. Is the going trend that people want answers to their searches instead of being directed to a page on Google? So yes, people, when you speak to Google, you want Google to speak back to you and you want it to give it an answer. And they spit out the featured snippet. Okay, so when you talk to one of these and you get an answer back, they usually they just tell you the featured snippet. They won't even tell you anything else. So I hope that makes sense. Chris, anything you want to add on that?
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about featured snippets, yeah, and I mean, what if they're looking for products? Obviously, people want to see options. They want to see what they can do, and so that's a different SERP entirely. A featured snippet may not come up if you just put in, shavers or something, and you want to see what your options are. But yeah, basically for featured snippets, I would agree.
Something really important, guys, and I know we're kind of going a little over, but a lot of times we work with companies and they think that people search for a certain thing because that's their industry, that's how they think. But 80% of the time, people search for completely different things. So doing research on this is important. And today, everything is open. You can go to Google and figure out exactly what is the search, the search volume for these things based on so many things. So don't assume, okay? Research and beta test. Everything needs to have a beta. Does that make sense, Carreri? Do you operate this way as well?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm working with a medium-sized business, probably soon to be enterprise, and one of the things that they kept saying, this is what we do: roll off, roll off, roll off, and they were missing a massive keyword that they just never really referred to, which was dumpster rental. They're gonna be mad if I said that, but this is the truth. There's that in the industry that you're in, you may be too close to seeing what clients are typing, and you would be shocked at how many different ways people type the same thing. It's like, and the great thing is if you optimize correctly, you can rank for a lot of them. But you do have to have the right things in place, and you have to understand that it's not one keyword that you want to. Usually for anything, there's dozens of the same thing phrased differently.
I was on a podcast yesterday, and it was a really cool dude. Shout out Dave. Great podcast. I think it's called The Entrepreneurial Journey. But he's a service guy, okay? He runs a $100 million ice removal company. And he's in all these associations. And he kept on telling me, it's like, people come to me and say, getting business is hard today. I miss the days of the yellow, the phone book that I put AAA ice removal and everybody would call me. So what I told him, everybody needs to find their new phone book. It's there. It's not that. It's just there's a new way of doing it. And that new way has to do with SEO and with putting yourself in the right places and backlinking yourself. So there is a better way than the old yellow book. You just need to get on with the times. And then, guys, if you want to have a digital, industry, if you want to dominate in digital, you got to invest in digital. Okay. Let's just put it out there. If you're not investing in digital, you'll get zero out of it. If you're investing smartly, you'll get something back. If you want to grow, digital is the way to go. I don't see a way for a business to grow without doing it digitally. Elisa's saying keyword stuffing, no go, got it. Camila's saying, hey, only good points here. Thank you, Camila. We appreciate you. We have Brett here sharing your LinkedIn. So, guys, this has been amazing. We've been 40 minutes. Christian, I'm going to basically let you finish this off and let people know how to reach out to you, okay? How they can talk to you. And I really appreciate everything you shared. It seems like everybody really liked it. thank you, and share with us a little bit about how people can reach out to you.
Well, I mean, LinkedIn's a good way since we're all here. That'd probably be the best. Takes me a few days to see them, maybe, but I always get back to you. So that's probably a good way to do that. And yeah, and I guess just that to wrap it up too with that is to keep your website moving. Like, you know, one foot needs to keep, you know, stepping in front of the other. And there's people that have been doing this for years, and they're reaping the benefits. And as long as you're moving forward, you know, you're not going backwards. So it's really important to keep trying to get to keep making progress on a monthly basis. Best advice.
It's a growing, like you're either growing or you're dying, guys. It's not like you do your website once every 3 years and then you forget about it. It's a living organism. If you want your website to generate business for you, you got to take care of your website. And we're here for you if you need any help. Chris, just as Hamad says, amazing live, man. So much value. I love you, bro. Looking forward to seeing you really soon. And we should do one more. Everybody, follow Chris on LinkedIn. Truly a kind, smart, good friend, and an amazing SEO expert. Everybody, we'll see you next week. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Ep.